There we go. Jay Robina. He's so damn lots of people. Okay, so I'll give it a second. So my name is Paul Mickiewicz. I'm with the New Jersey Bike Walk Coalition. Thank you all for joining our Safe Network meeting today. We have a number of presenters, and it's all about planning fun activities for the spring, bike themed activities. And there's a whole host of things that we can do. We have the TMAs. We have a number of representatives from the various TMAs. What's a TMA, you ask? We'll get into that. But we have a few more people joining us. And one of the sessions that we did months ago was activism through fun activities. So the lesson learned there was that people like to do fun things. Yeah, some people are policy nerds and get into that, but most people, I'd say a lot of people like fun stuff, fun activities. And if you can get them having fun on bikes, you bring them together, you get to know each other, you get like-minded people together, and you get good things done, good things happen. So we want to try to help anybody plan a fun activity for their community, share ideas, and we have the transportation management associations that serve the whole state. Is that Gita? Hi, Gita. Still got some more people coming on here. So it's all about planning fun activities, what resources are available, what ideas. And certainly there'll be plenty of other resources that we don't even touch on and that you may have an opportunity to share. So we're going to be taking a moment to go through each of the TMAs. Are going to have an opportunity to share a little bit about what they do, where they serve, because the whole state is covered. And we'll talk a little bit about the fun stuff and then maybe more educational oriented things as well, and resources of people out there that can help you. So I'm curious how many LCIs we have on this call today. Can you give me a thumbs up with a little reaction? If you're an LCI, yeah. Come on, Chris, there we go. You see virtual thumb or real thumb? Very good. Awesome. Okay. Well, I don't want to go too long here. We will be having some people joining us. Again, my name is Paul Mickiewicz with the New Jersey Bike Walk Coalition. We gather monthly on a topic. We bring some content experts in, and we have a discussion around things that we feel are meaningful. We hope are meaningful to the bike and walk friendly community advocacy world. And one of them is planning fun activities. So we want to share some resources with you and give you better ideas or more ideas of what you might be able to do in your community. And this is all about helping support all those local efforts. So although we do some things kind of behind the scenes on a state level, there's a lot of individuals out there. And I know we have a bunch of you, we've had conversations on this call trying to make things happen in your communities. And that's, you know, the sum of all of us here. So what I'd like to do is just share my screen for a moment. And I am going to, let's see here. I want to share our New Jersey Bike Walk Coalition website. So this is our activity, but I wanted to show you this. This is a map of New Jersey, and I'll see if I can blow it up a little bit here. Color-coded by these different transportation management associations that do a lot of great things that, and when you get on, you could certainly correct me where I'm wrong, but there's a bike and walk friendly element to it, but really helping to promote, it sounds like to me, transportation outside of individual cars. And even including carpooling and mass transit and use of other forms of transportation. And in our little world, we're talking mostly about the cycling community right now. And so you can see by color code, some TMAs serve a very large area, others a smaller area. And we have a number of representatives here. So what I'd like to do is go to Omid. Omid, you were in first today, so I'm gonna pitch it to you. And Omid and I met at a LCI workshop back in the fall, and Omid has the nicest, greatest smile. Everyone loved Omid's smile. He's always, we called him Mario. Excellent smile. And Omid, why don't you tell us a little bit about your work, and you've got it.
All right, thanks, Paul. Yeah, that's a really great compliment to get. Hi, everyone. So I'm Omid Raheen. I work for Avenues in Motion. I'm the Bicycle and Pedestrian Programs Coordinator. So a lot of the work that I do is mainly working with different community groups within our service area. And I can go ahead and share my screen, actually, while I'm not explaining. So I just have a quick little informational slide about our service area and the kinds of programming that I am responsible for. So yeah, as the Bicycle and Pedestrian Programs Coordinator, I kind of coordinate with different community groups within our area just to get the ball rolling in terms of different bike-friendly education, bike-friendly classes, and sort of with the goal of trying to increase bicycle education and literacy, but also kind of tackle things like how to ride on the road, how to interact with, different other vehicles on the road as, a bicyclist. So my contact information, if you are within our service area, which is mostly made up of Morris County, Sussex County, Warren County, and smaller portions of Essex County, Passaic County, and Union County. Yeah, so the types of programming that we do are some learn to rides, bike rodeos, smart cycling classes. We do a small, pretty cool type of program called adventure cycling. So that's mostly for younger cyclists who are, cyclists that are already kind of capable of, riding their bike on their own. If they're interested in taking on a new challenge, we could take them on, different local trails within our service area, just to build up confidence in their cycling capabilities, and, just to start thinking about cycling as, a recreational hobby or something that they can look forward to in the future in terms of, a mode of transportation towards, jobs. We also do a program with Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts within our service area called Cycling Scouts, and that kind of gives them, kind of similar to the adventure cycling program where we work with them on different types of, bicycle education, how to change a flat tire, how to do the ABC quick check. So that one is also a lot of great fun. We also do additional programming within our service area. So we go to different local types of festivals and events where we do helmet fittings and giveaways. And the idea with that is to focus on equity, tackling areas in our service area that historically have higher crash rates, bicycle crash rates, and kind of just making sure that everybody within our service area, has the access to a helmet if they don't have one already. We also do something mostly geared towards adults where we help them commute to their jobs on a bike. So what we'll do is we'll kind of take and assess the route that they have already been taking and, their level of comfort riding on busier roads. And we kind of just take in a lot of information, work with the individual to, create a feasible and safe as possible route to work. If they're looking to transition from, using their own personal vehicle, and if they're close enough, hopefully transitioning towards using a bike instead. Yeah, so we're always excited to join in and create new partnerships within our service area to, basically increase our reach. So if you are in our service area, I would love for you to send me an email, give me a quick email about, what types of programs you're looking for. And yeah, that would be great. And that's kind of all I had. Yes.
How many millions of dollars does it cost to have you come out to do these programs?
Oh, right. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, so all of our programming is free. So it comes at no cost to our community partners or to anybody that is willing to join in on the event. Yeah, so it's totally free. Yeah, so that is a really great poll for, people who are interested in learning to ride a bike.
Awesome. Great. Okay. If you can
Thanks so much.
stop sharing, I'd appreciate that.
Mhm.
So we'll do some questions at the end. I'd like to get around to everyone, and Delphina and Chris. Chris, if you'd like to go next and tell us a little bit about your TMA and activities.
All right. So thank you again for having us, New Jersey Bike and Walk Coalition. But I see some familiar faces and folks that we've worked with here through Keep Middlesex Moving. So we're the Transportation Management Association who serves Middlesex County. And we aim to reduce congestion, increase safety, and improve air quality and decrease traffic within our region. And like Omid had said, and similar to what he had said, our programs come at no cost to the communities as they are funded by the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, New Jersey Department of Transportation, NJ Division of Highway Traffic Safety, and NJ Transit. And when I was approaching this question, and Delphina had relayed what the presentation would be on, it was more along the lines of what our bike education looks like. And that changes depending on the need and the community and what the context of the education is coming from. So I'll talk about a little bit more about that as we go along. So we have a few photos here. Over on the left, this is a photo from our smart cycling course. So we offer smart cycling courses to any entities that would be interested in supporting cycling for transportation or for sport, or for organizations who may be interested in developing a bike to work culture. So on the image where we have folks who are riding on the street dressed in their high visibility gear, that's from our on-road portion of our smart cycling course. And you can see Delphina and Kathleen who are with us. But they're also featured in the photo because they participated in the smart cycling course we offer this fall to the Safe Routes coordinators and other bike ped staff who work in agencies and organizations throughout New Jersey. But what the smart cycling course is, if you're unfamiliar, it's to move cycling a little bit away from recreation and more to think about how to handle your bike as a vehicle in the street, and how to mix with traffic, how to understand the best maneuvers and positions you should be so that you could ride confidently and ride in a predictable way for motorists and those who are driving cars to understand. We have bike to school events featured in the middle. This is our largest bike to school event that happens in Milltown, New Jersey. Now, what we've done was work with the local law enforcement and with the schools to put together a bike to school day where it just so happens that the geography of the borough is that the school is in the middle of town. And then you have two large parks in the north and south ends of town. So we'll meet in two groups. And this is the group that had met at Albert Avenue Park to the north. And another group similar in size had met in the southern end of town. And we developed a route for them and worked out a strategy for the police department and for the folks at the school to be comfortable with, to have an escort for the students who are riding to school. Now, the escort is often supported by patrol vehicles who are on the route to stop traffic. So it's not quite like the bike train that we've seen in other parts of the state, but it's still, again, a fun event where the bike rack fills up at the school and the kids feel really good about biking to school together. And they all move safely there. Now, this is also, address the other safety concerns in the city, in the borough, where they'd question whether these streets are safe enough, having encountered crashes that involve pedestrians and bicyclists. But this is just one way to show that the community has potential to be bicycle friendly. And then over on the far right photo, this is just another photo from one of our bike skills clinics or bike rodeos. And we have a number of these that happen throughout the warm cycling seasons. So I would say between April and October. Now, in some form of them, we have them with our friends at the Raritan Valley YMCA, during their summer camp programs, we'll meet with the children and develop a learn to ride opportunity. And that's something that we are looking forward to doing this summer, right, Gina? And Gina's on the call here. And then we also work with other boroughs or other towns who may be interested in having bike rodeos or developing a fun bike day for the families in their towns. So we do have them more locally and as needed, but what's interesting about our program is that we have a continual annual set of county-wide bike rodeo events. And these happen in with strong partnerships with Catholic Charities Mobile Family Success Center of Middlesex County. And we had collaborated with them through the Healthier Middlesex Consortium. So it's a group of healthcare organizations. You have St. Peter's University Hospital and Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital. And with the work that they've done to update their community health improvement plan, we've forged a lot of alliances through that group. And through that, us and the Mobile Family Success Center are able to welcome other partners to this series of events that happens in Edison, Piscataway, New Brunswick, North Brunswick, and Sayreville. So their organization, the Mobile Family Success Center, will handle the promotion and the registration for the events, and also work with us to organize meetings with our collaborative partners, including the local townships, the local officials and government officials who would be interested in promoting the events, as well as our public health partners as well. And these can be larger scale events or smaller scale, depending on the timing and the context of them too. I would say our largest of these events happen in North Brunswick and Edison. And there are a variety of factors that work with promotion, but in any case, those seem to be our biggest events, with some of them including more than 100 youth cyclists, which could be a handful. So having volunteers and partners are crucial in the process, and it does take a lot of time and planning moving towards that. But it is possible to work with our health care organizations and public health partners and other folks who are willing to help us along the way. So as far as developing these events and including those partners and resources, we've also worked with the county's Department of Health, the county food bank, to also have a philanthropic element to our events as well. So the Mobile Family Success Center, they will also offer food donations, because with the locations we work with, it's one of their goals to also work with the low-income population and communities of concern, where there may be other resources needed for the locals who live nearby the events, or who may be attending because they have other social service related needs as well. So I mentioned working with the townships, municipal and youth alliances, mostly for volunteers, and also working closely with our local hospital organizations as to broaden their reach in regard to supporting physical activity and safety through our work. And another crucial partner that we have for each of these events is the New Brunswick Bike Exchange. So they are our local bicycle library, and what they do is sell bikes to the community, no matter where you come from, for a nominal fee. I would say during the times that we have events approaching, they'll sell kids-sized bikes for as low as $5. And they have a staff of volunteers who work on the bikes, and Delphina can tell you a little bit more about that. But they come out to each of our events. And what they do is offer the bicycle maintenance and ABC quick checks to make sure that all of those bikes are safe and rideable for the activities. And they have been an important partner for us. Thankfully, they work closely with the city of New Brunswick, and the city of New Brunswick offers them the support to be at our events throughout the county. But that's all I wanted to present to you today. And we have many events upcoming in Middlesex County, including an e-micromobility conference coming up in May, and a film screening that is still in the works in Metuchen. So I've put up my contact information as well as Delphina, and we'll save any questions till later. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. And, so because you are Keep Middlesex Moving, I'm going to use that as an opportunity to just plug our summit. So we have the New Jersey Bike Walk Coalition Summit coming up at in Middlesex County at the university or college. And we will be, that is May 18th. So Deborah put a link in the chat, and we have different presentations. If you've never been to the summit, it's in person. It is a lot of different educational opportunities, meeting opportunities, people presenting. So if there is something that you are interested in presenting specifically, we encourage you to submit that. The deadline is this Friday. So we have workshops. Some of the folks here have presented. It's a lot of great stuff taking place, all like-minded people, a lot of advocacy efforts. And, we appreciate, all the support. People are also looking for sponsorships for this event. There's a lot of fun activities, and we encourage you, if you've never been to a New Jersey Bike Walk Coalition Summit, please do. You've got to, it's overtime. And it's been a stretch. So the last in-person summit we had was back in 2020, and like the next week, everything shut down. So it was kind of crazy time. All right, so thank you very much, Chris. What I'd like to do is put Kathleen on. Kathleen, I understand you are able to share.
Yeah, so let's
you do that. Did I think I made you co-host there? Yeah. You should be able to share.
Okay. Okay, cool. Is it on there?
Yep.
I can't see my end. Okay, great. All right. Hi, everyone. I am Kathleen Ebert, and I am the Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety Coordinator with Greater Mercer TMA. We work in Mercer County and Ocean County, New Jersey. I'll tell you a little bit about what bike activities we have planned for the spring for Ocean and Mercer counties. We organize and help run bike rodeos like the other TMAs, which include a bike safety lesson, helmet fitting. The kids ride through a bike skills course, including stop signs and turns, with the opportunity for them to learn their hand signals. We also include a pedestrian crossing, so they learn to stop to let pedestrians cross as well, since bicycles are vehicles on the road. We have a couple of bike rodeos planned during the week of Earth Day this year, so it's fun to incorporate the holiday. So we're creating some, additional like decorations and giveaways that incorporate Earth Day, like bike for a healthy earth, for your short trips and whatnot, like bike to school and bike to work. We also teach bike and pedestrian safety through like classroom and assemblies. We customize the presentation to a targeted age group, and stress on different needs in that community. We also run bike and walk audits, and they're a great way to get the community out and about and engaged in the warm weather. We also use these updates to update school travel plans, which are great to support grant applications for municipalities. And I'll mention May is in the third week of May, I guess it's Bike to Work Week. So we encourage people going to work to ride their bikes. It's a great time to show coworkers that you can do it too. And also, many of you know, May is National Bike Month. So we encourage like bike to food, bike to friends, bike to school, bike on errands, and, anything you can. Here's a couple photos from events we've had. Our Streets Bike Rodeo, we ran in Trenton this past summer, and it was part of a larger community event, which included work on a demonstration project to improve road safety in targeted areas around Trenton. The kids really had a great time on that nice August day. In Point Pleasant Borough, the police have really taken on running the bike rodeos. They host them with us at this. We have 2 elementary schools in Point Pleasant Borough, and they target the 3rd grade level. So all the 3rd graders participate in that, and it's been a great event. We get local bike shops involved, and you know, the paper comes and writes a nice little write-up on it, which is great because the community always loves seeing all the great things that are happening. And we also have a picture of the bike assembly that's in Slackwood Elementary School. A lot of the kids, we have a demonstration crosswalk. We get the younger ones to practice, you know, how to cross the street and that kind of thing. There's a photo of bike and walk audits. We get together a group, usually some people from the town, like the police officers, engineers, some of us from the staff from GMTMA, and we survey the surrounding areas around, primarily around schools, to be able to recommend improvements that could be made. And then there's a fun picture of a woman running an errand with some, looks like plywood or something in her bike cart, which I don't know if it's the safest thing, but it looks fun. So it's good to run errands on your bike as well. So that's basically what we're planning for the spring. We have you know, several bike rodeos coming up, and we're getting geared up for that. So if anyone in Ocean or Mercer County would like some help with any of those things I listed, then please reach out and we'll be able to help you out. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathleen. Great. So we're going to have questions in a little bit. We have one more TMA to go. And I just wanted to just quickly share again, we have the site, the map, where the TMAs, so you can see Mercer right down there in the middle of the state. And we have Lisa Lee, who's going to go next, and she's up here, kind of upper eastern section of the state. There's also the Department of Transportation. I'm going to put this chat link in the chat, which is where you can get to all of the TMAs that are not represented here. You can get to their websites. So let me put that in the chat. And Lisa, I think I need to make you the co-host. I'm not sure if I've done that yet. There's the chat. And still have people coming in here. Where are you, Lisa? Lots of folks. There you are. Okay. Good. You're already there.
Wonderful. Is everyone seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Let me make this full screen. Okay, so Easy Ride. We are another one of the TMAs. We're up in Central and North Jersey. Let me see if I can so our mission is to implement innovative transportation programs and services that enhance people's lives, regional mobility, and economic opportunity for our people and businesses while reducing traffic congestion and improving air quality. Our bike and pedestrian program promotes walking, biking, safety, and health for all ages and all abilities. We serve all of Bergen, all of Monmouth County, and the urban areas of Essex, Passaic, and Union counties. And like the others mentioned, we partner with everyone: schools, municipalities, counties, recreation departments, the police, green teams, churches, bike clubs, Mayor's Wellness Committees, and many more. So if you want to work with us and you're in our service area, just give us a call or an email. So we have many of the same programs that everyone else has. Learn to ride classes, bike safe skill classes, also known as rodeos. We like to emphasize the safety part of it. We talk about what to wear, what equipment you need that is for New Jersey laws, how to fit helmets, and all of that. We'll go with you on community bike rides and do a little bit of education beforehand so that people are riding on the right side of the road. They know how to signal. We've done demonstration projects to implement your complete streets policy, such as a pop-up bike lane. Bike trains, we love those. We're happy to assist you to get started, to find the volunteers. We have a whole toolkit, and the other TMAs have these as well. This is to help implement your complete streets policy and make your community more bikeable. We have a special program, and several of the other TMAs do as well, where we receive donated repaired bikes, and we give those back out to adults who need a way to work, and also for students who need a way to get to school. We call that Wheels for Work and Spokes for Students. We will do a bikeability audit in your community, as well as look at how safe it is to walk, come up with a report that gives you recommendations on what you need to fix to make your community safer for biking and walking. We also have bike lockers. Nobody else mentioned this, but we all manage them. Our bike lockers are in Cranford, Roselle Park, Broadway, Maplewood, and Westfield. And we really want to encourage people to take that last mile commute. Why drive to the train station if you commute in New Jersey or the city? Save our air, reduce traffic. Ride your bike to the bike locker. These are really strong New Jersey Transit bike lockers that will protect your bike, your e-bike, your e-scooter. And you know what? You won't have to pay that parking fee or gas. Making this quick. So these are just some photos from our classes, learn to ride classes, bike safe skill groups. We like to do them in parking lots. And there's a community ride that we led in one of our pop-up bike lanes. We did have done pop-up bike lanes so far in West Orange, which became permanent, and in Red Bank, which hopefully will become permanent. And we'd love to help you in your town next. Jay Rabina, that's for you. He knows. This is just some of our promotional materials, Easy Wheels for Work. This is like a flyer. We like to pair events. This is a good idea. So you having a community day, have us come there and do a bike class or do a bike ride before it. If you're doing a 5K run and walk, why not a 3K bike ride also? So, promote physical activity and active transportation. And I think I'm finishing up. I think just the one thing I want to share, learn to ride a bike classes. It's really hard, as we all know, those of us who are parents, to teach our own children to ride a bike. Come to us. We will help you do it. And you won't believe the excitement and thrill and pride that you will see in your child when they can master riding a bike. It's just an awesome feeling. And I know my team, we love to do these classes. So that's it. Thank you very much. There's our contact info, and have a great day. I think it's
awesome.
Oh, it looks like it's still raining. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And, a couple things. I want to piggyback on the idea of learn to ride, because learn to ride is something that there's a lot of people out looking for. And whenever I've offered some sort of a smart cycling class, things like that, there are always people that will see that and say, well, I don't know how to ride a bike. Can you teach me how to ride a bike? So it's a real, there's a desire on the part of a lot of parents and adults to learn how to ride a bike themselves. There's a demand there. And I think it's the one thing that people are clamoring for. Parents get desperate. They're trying to teach their kid. They're getting in fights. They're knocking heads. So if you can have a learn to ride component to whatever you do out there, it's a great plus, great add-on. And there were a few questions in the chat. Tara, I'm going to have you come on. And one of the questions you were responding to around traffic gardens, and maybe you can include that in your presentation.
Sure.
Great.
Sure. I don't have a formal presentation. What I can tell you is Go Hunterdon is the TMA for Hunterdon County. We do all of the same programming that all of the other TMAs have already outlined, so I won't go through all of that again. I will share my screen to just
okay.
share.
I was going to go to your website.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to share a screen. Share.
I think I have to make you co-host. There you go.
Okay. And I thought I would just touch on two things that they're a little different in addition to the work that you've already heard about. So the first one is, if everyone can see the screen of this traffic garden, we
Yes.
have been working with 3 elementary schools here in Hunterdon County that were fortunate enough to receive Sustainable Jersey for Schools grants to install traffic gardens. And so this is the first of the 3 that has been installed, and we will be developing special lessons and activities to teach on the traffic gardens. But our vision is that every school, every elementary and intermediate school in Hunterdon County will have a traffic garden. And so this will support not only our Safe Routes to School programming, but also, as several of the other TMAs mentioned, some of the summer programming that we do. And again, just creating this culture of safety in the county, and making sure that we have the appropriate resources to be able to do that. So we're very excited and very proud of this, and we're proud of the schools that stepped forward to apply, and they all applied at the same round of funding at the same time for this. So that worked out very, very well. I'm going to switch over to another kind of innovative approach that we're taking. Let me share again. So, okay, can you see that now?
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have had several fatalities, bicycle and pedestrian fatalities in Hunterdon County recently. It was just about a year ago that a bicyclist was killed crossing Route 31. It was a Latino gentleman. And so as part of the work that we do that is funded by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety, and following the highway traffic safety, meaningful participation and engagement efforts and encouragement, we put together a focus group of the demographic of who had been struck and killed. And it was Latino male, primarily walking or bicycling to get to work. This was focused on the bicyclists. And we invited them to come directly after work at a local car wash to join us at a Mexican restaurant to have a conversation in Spanish, to hear from them exactly what it was that they were experiencing, what their concerns were, what their questions were, how they could help inform outreach efforts. And it was a very robust conversation that was very well attended. And what we really heard from these individuals was that they really needed lights and reflective items. That was a high priority. Several of them indicated that they do have their own lights, but they weren't always sure that they had the correct lights or if they were strong enough or what the case may be. They also felt like the reflective items that we are able to provide to them through our grants are very valuable, and that would benefit more people. Many of them had questions about the New Jersey bike laws. They come from countries where there are no bike laws, and they were unsure a little bit in terms of where should they be riding, what, do they have to follow the rules of the road and so forth. So we went over all of that. But again, the idea was not only to just inform the people that could join us that evening, but also to inform our further outreach efforts. Overwhelmingly, every single one of them indicated that motorist behavior was really a challenge for them. At least one of the gentlemen had been struck. Fortunately, he was not injured, significantly, but he did get knocked off his bike. And we did give them all these backpacks that are black, but these are reflective stripes. Those are reflective, and it has the 4-foot law it's a little blurry in this picture, but it does have the, 4-foot law logo there. And they were all happy to take those backpacks. One takeaway for everybody in terms of doing these outreaches, in the past, we have been really big on high vis items, the high vis yellow, and overwhelmingly this particular group kind of shared that nobody in their community is going to wear like a bright lime green yellow backpack, but they said they would wear the black backpack with the reflective stripes. So just a little something to make a note of. But that's really the key part of this, is hearing from the community and the focus of who are you trying to reach, and not what do we think they need to know or what do we think would benefit them, but being able to listen to them and hear what it is that they can do to tell you and inform your outreach efforts. So as part of this larger effort, and of course hearkening back to the fact that this all came about because of this devastating fatality about a year ago, we continue to take a very holistic approach to our outreach efforts, meaning that we engage with a broad variety of stakeholders, and we really try and get right to the individuals that are the most impacted. And of course, we're always looking to deepen our relationships within the community with other nonprofits, with the healthcare system, with anyone that is an interested stakeholder. We are planning to continue to document issues, and our goal is to elevate some of these conversations up through to some additional decision makers to see if there's something that we can do on the infrastructure side to improve the experience of these cyclists. So again, a little bit of a different conversation than what you heard from the other TMAs. We do everything that the other TMAs do, and I know that some of the TMAs are also doing the work that I'm talking about here, but I thought this would just be a little bit of a departure and something just a little different to share with you today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And so I have just a little bit of material that I'd like to share as well, and that is through the League of American Bicyclists. So the League just came out with some materials for Learn to Ride, of all things. So if you've never been to the League of American Bicyclists site, I strongly recommend it. It's a cool organization, advocacy organization on a national level, and it's been around since 1880. I love saying that, before cars. And they have a number of you have all been certified through the league as we call them LCIs, right? League cycling instructors. And there's a great curriculum. There is a whole youth bike rodeo training tool, a whole packet of materials, report card that you can use, lots of great materials. So if you go to their website, you can go to the cycling education and go to the Learning Center. And there's lots of good stuff here. And there's the Smart Cycling. They have a great video now on e-bike Smart. And right here in the middle is the Learn to Ride. So I will say they have a nice little video. So if you go to their site, you'll see a nice little video. And they also have some of these materials. So they're also available in Spanish. The video is, and they have a one-pager. So when you go to download the one-pager, okay, let me move that. There we go. There it is. Okay, so this is the one-pager on Learn to Ride, and it gives you the basics. So if you haven't heard this, it's a pretty common approach, but sometimes it's still new for folks. You turn the bikes into balance bikes. So you probably have seen these little balance bikes that don't have pedals, but you can take the pedals off a regular bicycle and drop the seat down, and it makes it a balance bike. The key is making the rider feel safe. You don't make them safe holding on to them. And certainly it makes a big difference when they can sit in the seat and place their heels flat, not reaching with their tiptoes, but flat on the ground, and then on a flat surface, a flat parking lot. It's hard to get a perfectly flat parking lot. Be very careful of a steep one because they get rolling along and then they get scared. and they kind of panic. It doesn't make them feel any safer. The key is making the rider feel safe. Take the pedals off, drop the seats, make them feel safe, and let them start to scoot along, push themselves along, and you'll see walk or row. It's kind of like rowing a boat with your feet. And they just develop the balance reflex. It takes time. Some pick it up fast, it takes a longer period of time, but this is on the league website. You can download it. It's a nice little handout, particularly if you are going to rally a bunch of volunteers for this Learn to Ride segment. It just takes patience. Again, it's a great tool. They have a little video. I will say the video makes it look a little too easy. One, because they have a really nice bike. It's kind of a high-end bike, Woon bike, nice. That was the sponsor, with very nice, easy-to-use handbrakes. And if you've ever worked with kids in a little bike, you know, they're little kid bikes, a lot of those handbrakes are hard for me to squeeze, much less them. And they have a pedal brake or a coaster brake. So that makes things a little bit more complicated as well. So there's some materials on the league website now. What I'd like to do is just pick up on any questions, and you know, if you want to raise your hand and we can address your question as a panel, we'll just jump in on it, address it the best we can. Just unmute yourself, raise your hand, you know, with the little reactions if you can down at the bottom. If you have any questions about sites, there was, if you haven't been following the chat, there's a conversation about the rain gardens and some other resources about bike lockers and things like that. We have the bike depot as well. So bike parking is important. But the resources that are out through the TMAs, and let me just put this back up again. I put this link in the website. Here we go. So this link is to the Transportation Management Association page, where you can get links to all of the TMAs. So you can get to their websites. We have a couple that weren't represented, couldn't make it today, but lots of great resources. And again, if you go to the league, bikeleague.org, a lot of great resources there. By the way, they have these videos, and there's a whole lot of them. I don't think they have the thumbnails anymore, but they have lots of little videos. And what's great about these videos is they're each about 1.5 minutes long. So great resources on lots of different topics. Great way to kind of just conversation starters for people. And a number of you touched on it. You know, there's a lot of activities for kids, but ultimately we want adults who are riding in the road, or should be riding in the road, to be safe. And a lot of the hardest lessons that we have to teach in smart cycling are very counterintuitive. You know, being in the middle of the road at times, that's where you're going to be safest. And sometimes people just think you're crazy for saying that, but it makes a lot of sense. I'm also going to share another cyclingsavvy.org website. Another great website, lots of great materials. They have some very good videos and graphics for learning how to ride. There's also not learning how to ride, learning how to ride safely, strategies, how to make left-hand turns and how to get through intersections, things like that. But I want to open it up for questions. So I know that some of you are advocates out there in the community. You're trying to pull some things together, make things happen in your town. Please just raise your hand. And if you're not being recognized, just shout it out. Okay.
So, Paul, is there any funding out there for these traffic gardens?
Good question. Tara, can you speak to that?
I can't speak to, you know, other than the Sustainable Jersey for Schools grants that were received by the schools. We haven't done a lot of other research on funding opportunities for the traffic gardens.
Okay. Interesting. Very good question. I was going to ask you actually, Tara, do you have like the specs for that? Like the plan for the dimensions and all that stuff, how to plot that out. That looked very nice. I like that traffic garden.
Yeah,
It may just show up in a parking lot without any notice. Who knows?
I don't
Gorilla
recommend that.
garden. Susan, you have a question. You have to unmute yourself, Susan. Restrepo. Ask to unmute. Oh, maybe you're not able to unmute yourself. If you have a question, perhaps you could put it in the chat. But that was a very good question, Gina. Those traffic gardens, I've seen other ones as well. That one looked nice. That was good. And what a great thing to do with a parking lot, right? So many parking lots are empty much of the time. Will?
Just want to throw out there, Brain Injury Alliance is hosting classes for the police department, so they know and understand the laws regarding cyclists, because most officers don't. So that enforcement is bad for everyone. So if you feel your police department would be interested, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll see if one can happen in your county. The TMAs here have helped us in the past run some of them. So we think it's a real benefit to educate the people who are supposed to be doing the engagement with both drivers and cyclists. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great program. So it's kind of, a deep dive into smart cycling with law enforcement. So they have a much better understanding. And, most law enforcement officials are part of our same car culture. They grew up in the same car culture. So until they get out on a bike and experience it, it's not as easy to understand and appreciate. There's a question about a rough price or cost of traffic gardens. Any rough idea, Tara, that you might say?
What I can say is that it's very labor intensive in the design, and I couldn't give you an estimate right now off the top of my head. This is a brand new. This installation just happened this week, the first one, and we're still putting some numbers together. But I can tell you that from the design to the initial layout to having the professional striping company, it can be an involved process.
But what we saw was a painted parking lot. So it's the materials that go into getting that nice paint job.
Well, first of all, it's not a parking lot, it's the playground at the school.
Playground, sorry.
And you need a certain amount of space there and so forth. But before you can have the professional striping company in, you have to lay it out for them, and you have to make sure everything is to scale. And my staff was out there for quite some time. And now that we have the template, hopefully it will be a little easier. But and there are a lot of very good resources out there, and anyone that wants to follow up, we can share what our experience has been. But this is relatively new for us, but we're just very happy that we've gotten the ball rolling. And I think that once we've had a few of these, we'll be able to achieve our vision of having them at every school.
Well, thank you. And Susan did put her question in the chat, and it's a really good one, and a good one to kind of be wrapping up with here, because she's asking, do the TMAs help with advocacy groups, with their advocacy efforts in their local towns? And that's a big fat yes, right? And that's kind of the beauty of all this. So Jay, we got to know each other in Roselle Park, and you put something together and you've been building on it. And these advocacy efforts, like I said, people like fun activities. It brings them out, they get together, and you get like-minded people together, and you say, hey, how can we make this better? So you start working on policy. So Jay, you got a Vision Zero policy, right? Or is it Complete Streets? I'm getting them mixed up. What do you got?
We have a Complete Streets policy, and we're working on, we've got a resolution on Vision Zero in support of it.
Awesome. So, you get more people that come out of the woodwork that want to help and show support. So it's important to connect the dots and get people together and show they have support for this kind of work. You're also doing some great work there around trails. Yi, you have your hand up.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I am also an LCI. Thank you to Paul, and have taken classes with some of us here on the Zoom session. I have a question about integrating good cycling etiquette and skills into group rides. I'm a founder of Cycling XYZ Network, which is on a Facebook page. It's basically a meetup group of area cyclists from all different clubs, and you don't even need to belong to any clubs, anybody who wants to bike, and we're sharing our passion of cycling with the community. And we do recreational group rides. We typically go out for rides. Anybody who wants to post a ride, share a ride, it's like saying, hey, I'm going out for coffee. Does anybody want to come? So this is the same concept. I'm going out for a bike ride. Anybody want to come? We add our logistics for meetup. And sometimes we might get a group of 2, and or sometimes it becomes a group of 10, 20, 30 people. Just depends on the logistics. So my question is, I have less time this year than I had in the past. And I was thinking of putting together destination group rides, maybe once a month. Are there TMAs or any programs out there that lends itself to ideas? Are there certain skills or riding etiquette that is easy to impart during one of these group rides? We have people all different levels of road riding, and we ride on the streets.
Anyone want to address that? I've got some ideas, but everybody else go first.
Yeah, I can say something. And Yi, I apologize because I know you've been like messaging me on LinkedIn, and I wasn't really. I'm very careful now about responding to people that I don't necessarily know, even if I see that they have connections, just for safety. But yes, I mean, we do group rides. We've ridden with the Newark last summer. Every month we did an evening ride, actually, to promote safety and reduce crime, so I think all of the TMAs would be open to that. You just have to reach out to each one in whatever service area and whatever community you are working in. So I think some of the places that you mentioned are definitely an easy ride area. So I put my email and our company email in there. Maybe reach out there to me. Sure. And we can go from there. We are like already heavily booked. I will say that for like April and May. And so we're looking like now at weekdays, but there's only so many weekends. So but we do the best we have. We have the whole summer and we have the fall. So
right. And we don't just go out for weekends. I mean, it's really, truly a meetup group. So there are people who have a flexible work schedule, or they are retired, or they're mommies on maternity leave, whatever the case is. So we're open to having rides go out during the week as well.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love that. I need a.
Well, thank you, Lisa and Yi, for that question. And I just want to add that you reminded me that partnerships with other groups, particularly environmental groups, make for a great collaboration. So something that the Montclair Climate Action Group reached out to me in my home in Montclair a few years ago, and it was one of those head slapping moments, like, why didn't we collaborate on this earlier to do a climate ride? So we organized a theme ride. You get casual riders. We created a ride that took in someone's house that had solar panels. We got a little presentation around solar panels. We went to the Montclair farm and talked about their composting and community gardens. We went to a electric vehicle show. And it's a fun way to incorporate a bunch of other elements, but most importantly, broaden your base with other like-minded people. So there's a lot of people who are passionate about the environment that maybe they're not big bike riders necessarily, but they know how beneficial getting people out of cars and onto bikes, how positive that is. So seek out other partnerships, and these casual rides are a great way to do it. And you could sneak in a little bit of bike education on these fun rides, and
That's
really
right.
it's actually practical. It's very practical along the way to deal with some of the issues that you will deal with. So I am conscious we're going over now. If people have to leave, I understand. Lisa's got her hand up.
Yeah, I want to give a quick, because somebody asked about funding. So bike and ped events, all the TMAs were Safe Routes to School providers. The Safe Routes to School activities, all bike and ped types of activities that have education involved can be used for municipal or school awards. Those can be then transferred into applications, not guarantees, but applications for Sustainable Jersey, mini grants, as well as Safe Routes to School and other NJDOT infrastructure grants. So use your biking and walking activities for Safe Routes to School awards, and then use those awards to channel into Sustainable Jersey certification points, and then apply for the grant money to make your infrastructure safer for walking and biking. So talk to your TMA about it. We can explain the whole process, but don't just do your events. Let us know so that you can get credit, and that those credits can be turned into awards and possibly certification and grant money to make those improvements.
Yeah, it improves your chances, right?
Yes, definitely.
That's great.
Definitely.
Paul, can I just do
So-
a quick?
Oh, Gina.
Yes,
hi,
please do, Deborah.
Gina. See, Gina's scrubbing.
Sorry, I couldn't get my hand up. I don't know, the react didn't go. First of all, I want to thank all the TMAs that presented today. That was a great sharing, and I just wanted to reach out and say we are very interested in having the TMAs participate in the summit. On May 18th, we are thinking of maybe doing a roundtable idea where people could come and follow up and learn more about the TMAs. So we'll be reaching out to you to participate in the summit. And just another reminder that we're looking for submissions for sessions. If any of you, either TMAs or anyone else here, wants to do a session that is
Like on rain gardens or traffic gardens or something like that.
There's a form on our website under the summit link, which I put in the chat, or you can just go to the NJBWC website under summit. All the information for the summit will be there. So we will have registration up there soon and more information about keynotes and sessions. But right now we have a March 1st deadline if you're interested in suggesting a proposal for a session. And I'd love to see at least some of the TMAs hopefully will submit. So thanks very much.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Great seeing you. Great to see you, Gina.
Same here. Be well, all. Good to see my old friends and meet some new ones.
All right. Thank you so
I gotta
much.
jump. Bye.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks,
You are
everyone.
welcome.
Take care.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.